رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم انفعنا بما علمت وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما. Allah talks about Maryam in the Quran and He says, Rahman Rahim.
فتقبلها ربها بقبول وأنبتها نباتا حسنا وكفلها زكريا عليها زكريا قالت هو من عند الله إن الله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب.
And He says, so He treated her with good acceptance and caused her to grow in a good manner, and He put her in the care of Zachariah. It is so amazing how good Maryam was and how good her environment was. So if you want Allah to take care of you, that goodness has to come within you. Maryam grew up in goodness, in worship, in good character, in righteousness, and so was her company. She was in the company of Zachariah, alayhi salam. So Maryam lived her life in worship. Her youth was spent in worship. If you took her as an example, as you know, Allah has directed us to do, and you gave your youth to Allah, and you dedicated your youth to Him, and you committed to Him, imagine how much goodness will be in your life. And if you dedicate your youth and time to Allah in worship, where would you be in the day of judgment? In the day where there is no shade except the shade of Allah, the shade of Allah's throne. You will be under His throne. So commit your life to Allah. Commit your youth to Allah. The youth, this time is the most important time, and on the day of judgment is one of the things that a person will be asked about will be how he spent or how she spent her youth. So we should really take care of our youth. And we know that one has until 40 to be considered as a youth. So this is the message to all the youth, that please take care of your youth. Manage your time. Don't waste your time. Don't let a single moment pass by without leaving it for Allah. And in Islam, worship is anything that pleases Allah. So you could be worshiping Allah through your studying. If you have the intention of pleasing Allah through that, be worshiping Allah, through salah, through waking up at night, through performing i'tikaf, through reading the Quran, doing your adhkar. Do your best in worshiping Allah in your youth. Make it perfect. Maryam was an example of perfection for us. She was an example of modesty. And how many youth today follow that example, whereby they live in modesty, women covering, young ladies covering up, protecting their chastity, as well as young men adorning their gaze, protecting their chastity, staying away from the haram. We have Maryam as an example, so that we live up to that standard that Allah wants us to live by. I hope you benefited. We'll end here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.